The EFWA enables women to enter the accounting profession and empowers them to achieve equal opportunities and equal rewards.
Alex Miller, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's Friday, so I'm looking forward to the weekend.
I know this is exciting, and thank you so much for agreeing to doing this. I'm super excited to see you and get to talk to you, and I'm glad we were able to do this. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Well, Alex, I looked on the interwebs and found some information about you. I think may or may not be true. Alex, are you the presidente of Alex Miller CPA firm?
I am.
And did you get your undergrad in accounting and management from the University of Arizona?
Bear down Wildcats, you got it.
And you're a CPA, obviously. And I think you're the past president of the American Women's Society of CPAs.
I am. That's how I got involved with the Educational Foundation.
And are you the current or the past president of Beta Alpha Psi?
I am the immediate past president. I'll be rolling off the board in August.
And that's an honor society, is that correct?
It's an honor society for accounting, finance, and business and data analytics students.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was not a member and was not invited to attend that fine organization when I was in college, but we're still here today. So B students get jobs too. I'm proud to say that that is true. And I'm not going through all this, but I saw online, you remember that AICPA, AFWA, ASCPA, NAWIC, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You are very, very involved, Alex. You are a super volunteer, and I think you are the perfect person to ask some questions. So I'm going to hit you up right to begin. In addition to stuff, you're on the board of the Educational Foundation for Women in Accounting. What's the story with that? When and how did you start?
Kind of scary when you talk about me being a joiner. I looked back through my history, and I don't actually have a date, but I believe it was in the middle of the 1980s. I want to say my first emails and things that I have in my files, which also tells me I really need to clean up my files, was back in 1986. So I got involved when I was involved in the American Women's Society of CPAs. I got involved in the Educational Foundation way back when, and I have been involved. I had a couple of years where I was off the board, but I've been involved since actively since the late 1980s, which just sounds crazy, but it's true.
Alex, you need some new record retention policies. I don't know 40 years worth of records.
Yeah, it was just some obscure emails and things that I found just the other day because I was wondering. I remember when we got together and did some strategic planning, and we were all putting little stickies on a timeline on when we got involved, and I thought, I don't really remember, but I think it was in the 80s. So I've been around for a long time.
And what do you enjoy most about your involvement in the EFWA?
Well, and it must be pretty awesome. I've been doing it for a long time. But the thing that I love, whether it's new board members or old board members, the people who get involved in this, I like to think it's the best little organization that just needs a little bit of a boost and will be everywhere, because the people that are involved in it are amazingly passionate about it. And case in point, Mr. President, they stick around for a long time and serve because they're very committed to the ideas of all that we can accomplish. And part of it is that there are great people on the board, and so I love being involved with them, but I love the things that we are accomplishing, and I love it enough that I've been involved for decades, and I don't see any time when I'm stepping away from it because I'm really committed to what it is that we do.
Alex, in your background, you've been on just about every committee there is in the EFWA, and certainly scholarships. And so if somebody's watching this video that's a potential scholarship applicant, what advice would you give them as they're filling out that application form?
A lot of the applications that we've seen, and I've seen a lot of them, the students, they're passionate and they're engaged, and that's amazing. And I would tell them that this may not be where they end up in accounting, because we all go in a lot of different directions, but having a background in accounting is an amazing thing. And if our scholarships can help with that, that's great, because regardless of where you go in your life, in business, if you have a solid accounting background and you know the numbers and you know how things operate, that's going to help you find an amazing career path, whatever that may be. So I'm I get really excited when I see those applications because these students are amazing and they're brilliant, and they're creative and talented. And I probably couldn't have managed to figure that out when I was their age. But it's cool to see, and I appreciate the fact that so many of them, they're not all necessarily, I want to be a CPA and do taxes, although that's awesome. But they have a lot of passion, and I think it's great that they're thinking about accounting, at least for a starting point, because there's so many different directions you can go with that when you get that as your foundation.
Alex, what about a potential giver that might be watching this video? What advice would you have for somebody who's thinking about donating their time or their talent or their money?
We are such an easy sell. This is such an amazing organization, and the things that we do, it's a way, especially not just if you're have an accounting background, but especially if you have a background in accounting, you can help young students, and not even just young students. One of the coolest things I think about the EFWA is that we have the Laurel Scholarship, which is one of the few scholarships out there for PhD candidates. And in my work with Beta Alpha Psi, one of the things that I learned is there's really a shortage of potential faculty. A lot of the faculty out there right now want to retire, and there's nobody coming up. So how great is it to be able to provide some potential scholarship money? I mean, when you're getting out of college and you're getting your PhD, nobody wants to give you money then, but we're one of the few organizations that do. And I think especially for people that are faculty and that are farther along in their profession, how cool would it be to help give an opportunity to the people that you want to come behind you and replace you when you retire? So I think that's a great opportunity for folks.
Alex, question number 5, last question. It happened so fast. What is something that I should have asked, but I didn't? And what's your answer to that?
Yeah, well, this one was a hard one for me because there's lots of things I could think about. But when I realized my timeline, I thought, oh my gosh, you've been in this for decades, which sounds kind of scary. But my first thought was, why am I still here? What is it that's really keeping me involved with this? And the thing that really came to my mind, which was one of the first things I got involved with when we first started the scholarship, was the Women in Transition Scholarship. And then its partner, the Women in Need. And Women in Transition is a massive 4-year potential $16,000 scholarship for women at a crossroads in their life. And they don't know where they're going, and they've had a trial to get there, and they may not make it. They may not make it at all. Chances are they won't make it. And even with our help, they still might not make it. But this is a powerful group of women that are really trying to make a difference and don't quite know how to go about it. And so they're looking to accounting. They're looking to try to get back into a different life, and to be able to read those applications and work with those women and support them with a significant monetary amount, not just a couple $100 here and there. Sometimes we can be the difference between these women making it through school at all. And it would be my dream if we could find enough donors. I know the application process for those of us on the committee would be overwhelming, but I wish we had dozens of these scholarships that we can give away. We're not always fortunate enough to be able to have this, because once we start the scholarship, it's a 4-year commitment, and that's a pretty big thing. But I got involved in the very first Women in Transition Scholarship. I've been passionate about this organization ever since, because I think it's great to be able to support these people and watch them be able to succeed. That's just an amazing thing, and it makes me really proud to be a proud part of this organization.
Well, Alex, your passion comes through. That was fantastic. You're fantastic. Thank you for volunteering with the EFWA and taking the time to speak with us today.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm also thrilled that we could move this from 6 a.m. my time, although I still would have done it.
Thank you. Have a great day.